I had a whole bunch of questions that you asked me, which by the way, appreciated
Yep.
that.
Yeah, and so I'm going to use some of that stuff for the intro. She uses that for marketing materials wise. I'm going to boot you off. I'll kick you off, and where the heck am I? Here we go. I'll play a little intro. Not that one, but this one. I'll do a little intro. I will bring you back up. Hey, appreciate you for being here. What's keeping you busy, Brian? And then we'll go from there. We'll talk 20 or 30 minutes. I'll just ask kind of questions along the way. And then I have some more just kind of not strictly like business related questions. So what's your biggest life lesson and how did you learn it? What's the most exciting thing you've done lately? If you could have dinner with anybody throughout history, alive or dead, who would it be and what would you talk about?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's why I ask them. Yeah, give you a little chance to think about it. Any books, podcasts, documentaries that have moved your needle as an investor, as a dad, as a husband? And then last question will be, when your time on this earth is done, Brian, what do you want to be remembered for by the people you left behind?
So, oh man, you're getting deep, buddy.
Any questions for me before we get started?
No, not really. Is this too dark?
No, it looks good.
Okay, good.
Looks good. I'm going to boot you off and get us going. Welcome to Networking with Nathaniel, a conversational podcast where I get to talk to real estate investors, business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are growing inside and outside of their businesses. So if that's you, if you're a person that's looking for growth in that state of mind, you have come to the right place. I am Nathaniel Hovsepian. I am the host of Networking with Nathaniel. Go figure. I am a health and wellness coach for busy dads. I am a real estate investor. More importantly, I am a husband and a father to 3 little kiddos. I have done millions of dollars of real estate transactions. I have helped many dads take control of their health and wellness through nutrition, movement, mindset. But this show is not about me. It is about the amazing guests that I get to have on every week who come on, share their successes, share their struggles, what's working, what's not working, and how they've gotten to where they're going and where they're headed. If this is your first time here, please hang out. And if you like the show, subscribe to the channel so you can get notified of all future videos and hit that like button so we can reach more people. I always love seeing comments in the show. So if there's anything that hits you, if there's anything you noticed, leave a comment on the video so we can have a conversation, because that's what I really like doing. Before I introduce our guest today, I want to give a little intro about him. I met him a little while back, maybe 6-7 months ago. He actually saved us from getting into a deal that was suspect because he looked at things from a different lens than we were looking at in our business currently, or at the time. These are the type of people that you want to have in your corner, the people that are going to look at you and are not going to just be yes people. They're going to look at things from their own perspective, and you're going to have a conversation and you're going to be able to learn from something about them. This man that I'm about to bring out is a father, a husband, a father, a grandfather, and he has been inside the real estate investing space for about 5 years or so now as an entrepreneur. Welcome to the show, Brian McMullen. I hope I did a decent job there introing you.
As good as it gets with me.
Yeah. I appreciate you being here, taking time out of your busy day. I appreciate all the guests that come on, come to spend an hour with me talking and pouring into the audience. I want to find out, Brian, what's kind of the big thing that you're working on right now? What's keeping you busy each day?
It's funny. The last time I saw you was in Dallas at the Squat Up event.
That's right.
And that was a pivotal moment for me, actually. I was, and I have been doing my own little thing by myself, slowly, step by step, and the Squat Up event kind of threw me into a turmoil in my brain that I had to start to figure out how to do this better, faster, stronger, whatever, so since then, that was back in April here, 2025, I have done many more fundings as I've been doing, but I've also am under contract with a 24-unit apartment building here in Mesa, Arizona. And my partner and I are about to be closing on that. We're all funded out and we're ready to get it going.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a big switch is working on your own deals, it sounds like.
Well, it was more of it was time to, I think when I first started investing, it was build my portfolio. And as I did that, and I realized maybe now's not the time to buy, maybe I should be doing something else with my funds, I started lending. And as I did that, I started building my lending business. And I veered away from purchasing for myself or my own portfolio. I still have a couple doors I've added over the last year or so, but I really slowed down and I was focusing on building the funding business. And that's great. I mean, it's nothing's wrong with that. But ultimately, what am I trying to accomplish for me and my family, and make sure that the legacy is built? And it's not in funding other people's projects, which is, again, I love it and I enjoy it, but it's in building my own portfolio.
What was the thing that made you flip this switch at Squat Up?
I love that. So I went there pretty pessimistic.
Okay.
By nature, I'm just like, yeah, I'll go there and see what I can pick up, and if I get anything, great, and I'll take one thing home with me. And honestly, the first day, not even before we went into any kind of meetings, it was just really just networking. I realized I got up my game. I've been doing my own TC work on projects. I've been doing my own underwriting on everything. I've been going out and finding funding. I've been going out and finding projects to fund. I've been doing outbound phone calls, marketing, you name it. I've been doing it myself. And I think that's great. It's very valuable because I can do everything. I know what I'm capable of. However, I'm overwhelmed. You can't do everything well enough. And first day, I just knew it's time to scale. It's time to bring on a team. It's time to change the game. And so that was really the mindset switch, which is let's change that. So since then I've added a TC who's way better at doing that work than I am. I've added a integrator. So I have my integrator who I've been working with on and off for a while, but she's just amazing. I think in the past I wasn't sure that she was ready to step in, and so I didn't even ask. So when I got back, and she's like, I've been waiting for you to say this. So I brought an integrator and I met a partner in Dallas at the Squat Up event that I jive with. He has tools that I don't have. He needs tools that I do have. He's got the right mindset, and he's all about building it for his family as well.
I love this. We're going to go to a quick Fit Fatherhood commercial break, and we'll be right back with more from
If
Brian.
you're a busy dad, or you know one that is looking to focus on their health and their wellness, the Fit Fatherhood community might be just for you. It's said that when we have our health, it frees us up to have many, many goals, but when we don't, we only focus on the one. So we're focused on keeping our health and wellness as a top priority in Fit Fatherhood. We've built this community of busy dads, all like-minded, looking to grow and flourish and be great examples for our families of what health and wellness looks like. So if that's you, or you know somebody who that might be for, follow the link in the description and come join the Fit Fatherhood Facebook group today. Let's get back to the show.
I need to fix that video because it's all fuzzy and funny looking.
You know
But
what? I love it. I
you
love it.
mentioned before we went to that commercial there, you added a TC, an integrator, and a partner. I'm most curious about the partner side, but
Of course.
before I ask questions about that, was it really just you going before this, or did you have some other pieces in place?
When you say me going, you mean me going to
Well,
the point where I was ready to add?
before going to Squad Up and deciding I'm going to add this TC and I'm going to make the integrator, I'm going to ask the integrator, I'm going to add the partner. Was it just Brian out there raising money, underwriting, like you were solopreneuing?
Absolutely. Like,
Okay.
I always tell people, my head down like Schroeder and typing on the piano. You know, that was me.
Yeah.
Full on. I have a vision of what I wanted to build, and I've been implementing that vision, but at a pace that Brian can handle it. And that's
Mm,
what I realized as I was there, that I needed to continue that vision, continue building that vision, but I need help. I can't do it the way I really need to do it by myself.
I love it. What did you, or how did you identify, I guess what is applicable as well, who that first person was going to bring on? Did you go through, hey, these are the tasks that I hate, these are the tasks that I'm bad at? What did that process look like for you?
Well, I knew the integrator. Like I said, the integrator has helped me build my website. She's helped me build up my CRM. She's just always been she's a dear friend, and she's always there for me. And so
Mm,
I knew that there's no way I'm going to do this by doing all the things that she was doing for me. There's no way I'm going to build a website. There's no way I'm going to do that, get the CRM running. There's no way I can market myself. I'm just not, I'm an older guy. I don't, I'm not into marketing. I'm into talking to people. I'm a
okay.
relationship builder, but I'm not a marketer.
Yeah.
So those are all the skills. I knew that there's no way I'm going forward unless I build those. And my integrator can do lots of those things, but she's not going to be the best person focused on that. That's not what she wants to do for herself. So I know that I'm at a moment where she's multitasking. I'm multitasking. My new partner, Damien, is multitasking. And so we're all willing to do that because we all understand where we're going. And
Right.
so that was really kind of my thing, is I just knew what I wasn't good at. And I think that's probably what I was looking for mostly. What am I not
Okay.
able to do by myself, and who can I bring on that has those skills?
Yeah. I like that. It's not, I prefaced the question with some other examples like, hey, what do I hate doing? And it's most of the time it's not that. A lot of the times it's, at least for me, I enjoy digging into a spreadsheet, but that's not the best use of my time. That's not my
Yeah,
superpower.
I
You
like it.
know?
I like what you're saying, because I'm good at underwriting.
Yeah.
I'm good at connecting. I'm good at finding deals. I'm good at making sure that CRMs run into its efficiency. Right. I'm not great at any of those except for the connecting part. I'm a
Right.
relationship builder. I always say, and I just came back from when we first started into the sub two community and the Avatar series. I don't know if you took that or not.
Yeah.
I wasn't a wholesaler. It's just not who I am.
Right.
And I wasn't this, and I wasn't that, and so I took that Avatar series really seriously. I said, what am I good at? Because I'm not a person that promotes themselves as being awesome at something. It's just not who I am. I'm
Mm,
always looking at what I'm not good at and what can I work on. But I realized really quickly in the Avatar series, and thank you, Pace, for putting that out. I'm a connector. I love building relationships, and I'm an action taker. And so what actions have I been taking? I've been buying houses one after another, and I built up a portfolio. But I was in the lending business now, and I was trying to figure out how do I get that next level, and I didn't have all the skills. So, yeah.
And so you were able to go find some who's to replace the hows.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
It-
Which
when it
by the way
comes-
has been sidetracked because one of my who's has brought in some skills that I don't have, which brought in a project that I wasn't planning on, which is a 24. I think about this for a second. I have 28 doors to my portfolio.
Yeah.
And in the last two months, I'm under contract on a 24 unit apartment building. That's not because I had some magical moment where I was a multifamily person. It's because I wanted multifamily. That's what I brought my partner, one of the skills that he brought to the table. And here we go. And it's been a little bit rough trying to figure out how do I build my business. I've been building by myself, adding teammates. And oh, by the way, here's a great project that we're going to go fund.
Yeah.
Go buy. So
It's a fun place to be.
well, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
I was just on talking to my partners this morning, and sure enough, I get on there and my partner says, "Oh, I've got a crazy idea." I'm like, "When has that stopped?" I mean, it's been nonstop since we've been all together. Crazy idea
Yeah.
every day, but in that process, it's helped me to realize, okay, everybody's going to have crazy ideas, but what do I do every day to keep building toward what I originally planned while I take on those new ideas? And like literally, I'm going to be built, almost doubling my portfolio here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. In one closing. I love it.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah. What is when you decided to partner up with this person, what kind of process did you go through to make sure that it was a good fit? I guess what from investment standpoint, like from investors' vocabulary, vernacular, what due diligence did you do?
Yeah, it's great question. So for me, I'm a relationship guy. So to me, while I was formulating this plan, it was really just about building that relationship, talking, communicating, getting this phone to stop dinging in my ear here.
Oh, I heard it.
Yeah,
That's okay. I thought that was from the inside the yeah.
that's my phone.
Yeah.
Someone texted me here. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So I was really focused on the relationship. So my integrator, we click. We know how to work with each other. We trust each other. We build on that. The new partner, it was for me the same thing. If I don't like him, if I don't have a rhythm with him, nothing matters what he's done or can do. And then obviously we all know people in different communities and different relationships that we admire. We see what they can do, but we're not necessarily going to click with them. And for me, I need to click. I need to feel like I can be completely honest with them, and I need to know that they're going to be honest with me, straightforward. And that's not everybody. So for me, that was where I start. And once I realized that was good, that was working, that's when we started getting a little bit deeper, showing. And I started with my business. I figure if I'm going to build a partnership, I'm going to have to be open as I can. So I started showing them how I built my CRM, how the CRM works. I gave him access within a short period of time because I wanted him to know I trust him. And I said, what do you think we can do better? And then I asked him for an idea. So it's really we're what's that, April, May, June, July, we're 3-4 months in now to that partnership, and we're still learning what each other can do, wants to do, should be doing, right? And so yeah, for me, it wasn't like, oh, he checked all these boxes, so therefore we're doing business together. It's a relationship. It gets built with time and pressure.
There's a piece that JJ Zizian says, and he was on, wow, probably 50 episodes ago at this point.
Kudos to you, by the way. That's awesome.
He says, chase the relationship, not the deal. And
so true.
You've mentioned the relationship first here, like Can they close sellers? Great. Can they negotiate, underwrite deals, whatever, all the things? Great. But are you a jerk? Right? Do I get the feeling like you're being dishonest to me when we're having a conversation? We're not a good fit.
Well,
JJ says and I'll paraphrase, but
obviously,
essentially is, if I can't take you home to have dinner with my family, if I don't want to invite you over for dinner, then you're not a good partner. I don't want to do a deal with you. And I love that it really sums up the chase the relationship, not the deal, because that's it. There's plenty of people that are good at what they do that I can go do deals with. I want to do deals with friends. I want to do deals with people that I enjoy being around.
I have to tell you, simple life investing is exactly based on that idea, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to do. I mean, I do. I want to build an amazing business, and we're in the process of doing that. But what I really want is to do it with my friends. I want to do it with people I know, like, and trust. They believe in me. So, I mean, and ultimately, as you move forward, you have to earn that. But once you've earned that, I was an insurance agent. I don't know if you know this. I was an Allstate insurance agent for 27 years.
Okay.
That's the business I left about 3 years ago now. After I started the real estate process, turning my mind into that. And my thing is my goal was and again, think of it from an insurance client's perspective. Okay, insurance people who are not insurance think insurance people are all salesmen. They're all slick Rick, right? They're all trying to, talk you into something that you don't need, whatever, right? And so I fought that my whole career. So my goal, and I told this to all my staff, listen, what you want is to build the relationships up so well that when you pick up the phone and you're dialing them and they know who's calling them, they can see it. They don't go, oh, it's the insurance guy. It's, oh, there's Brian. I wonder what he needs from me, or what he wants to talk about. And I want them to answer the phone with an open heart. And that only comes from building great relationships. And so that's really what it's all about. I mean, and quite frankly, I forgot that a little bit when I started doing my funding business. And I, with my own money, by the way, did a deal with someone who I didn't know. And I didn't understand all their intricacies, and it lost money. Oh, well, there you go. The relationship wasn't built. There was no connection, and I paid the price for that. Great learning lesson, though, right? Everything else since then has been great. But yeah, so relationship building is the only thing that matters. And a lot of people, as I'm talking to people about what we're doing and they're interested in what we're doing, they want to be involved. One of the questions always comes up is the underwriting great? And I said, it's got to be good. But what you're not even asking me is the relationship great? Relationship matters more than anything else.
Yeah, that's especially from a newer investor perspective, that's missed, because sure, you can do one deal with somebody and it work out, but if you do enough, the character is going to be revealed.
Absolutely.
Because something's going to go wrong, a deadline's going to be missed, whatever. And it's those times when you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's got high integrity, going to be upfront with you. It sucks having hard conversations, but it sucks worse when you've waited 2 weeks to have it. Because this has been going on for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you. I mean, you mentioned earlier the deal that we talked about some time ago, and yeah, you have to have that moment where, like, I'm thinking to myself, dang it, I want to do business with Nathaniel.
Yeah.
But the first thing I had to say is, I don't like it. Here's a problem. Here's what I see. This is what I don't like. Are you sure you've done this? And I was more of being your the nitpicker of the deal than I was someone who can say yes or help you on that.
Yeah.
And that's a hard moment, because you want to build a relationship, but you want to do business together, but you realize that there's one that supersedes. And ultimately, you, by the way, to your credit, because I've done that with other people, by the way, I've done that where I've said, hey, I'm not so sure about this, and the reaction is, well, you don't want to help. Your reaction was not that. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
your reaction was, tell me more.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Why are you thinking that? And ultimately, I hope I helped you. And if I didn't, I'm sorry, but
No, you did.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
that's I would
I
rather do
took it
no
as,
deals with
but
you
now
than do a bad deal.
let me take the knowledge from this person who doesn't understand the local market necessarily, and go take what he just told me and give it to the person who knows the local market. And the person that knows the local market was like, don't buy on that street. That's a terrible street to buy on. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. No, so I've been that person in the past that would go, he's just trying to find the negative or whatever. You know, he's just trying not to be helpful. But now it's well, what does Brian have to gain by not being helpful? He's got people who want to lend money on deals, and he wants to lend their money on deals. That way he can build the relationship with the borrower and the lender, and he wants things to go through well.
The whole circle.
Okay, well, I'm putting my mind in his perspective now. We're building a relationship. That's what you do when you build a relationship. And so no, it was very much appreciated. I want to know explain what simple life investing is, if that's easy enough to do.
It's not.
And then it's not. Yeah. Okay. Go.
Well,
1, 2, 3,
yeah.
go.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking to build my portfolio, and at some point, I realized things aren't. The economy's changed, and I'm not going to just buy because I have a couple bucks in my pocket. So I said, well, I need to keep this money moving. Let me try lending on a deal, and I started doing that, and I started realizing, wait, if I do this right, it's pretty damn safe, and I can build my portfolio this way by building my assets so I can be ready for the next project to buy. And as I did that, let me back up. When I started buying property out of state, away from my home, a lot of my friends, family, and neighbors were saying, what are you doing? How are you doing that? And then I would tell them what I'm doing, and there's always interest. And as I started lending my own funds, the same thing was happening. How are you doing that? What are you doing? What are your returns? When do you get your money back? And at some point, I ran across a project that was asking for more than I had. And so I'm like, dang it, it's a good deal. It's solid. And showing up, I called one of my friends who had been asking me, and I just said, hey, let's do this. And they did, and it worked out. I'm like, wow, that was amazing. And so I realized I've always been a relationship builder. I always want to work with my friends and family. My insurance business that I grew from $1 million, not that it matters, $1 million book to an $8 million book, that was done by relationships, not by salesmanship. And so who do I want to do business with? My friends and family. I would love to have my friends have grown their asset, over the next few years to the point where they're doing well. And then I'm like, wait, and I want to build my portfolio. Well, heck, how do you build relationships and build trust? Let's do business together. Well, these are the people I'm doing business with. So these people might just be the people who want to lend on my next project. And so wait, this is full circle.
Yeah.
I'm helping myself by lending and growing my asset. I'm helping others by doing the same thing. I can make a couple bucks doing it as an active income, but my goal isn't to do that. My goal is to build my passive income, my portfolio. Well, how would I do that creatively? Friends, family, neighbors, great funding partners, traditional and creative.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
And is simple life investing just all of that, or is that a specific component of?
Yeah, that's a great question. People have asked me multiple times, who's your client? And I say, my client is Nathaniel, who has a project he wants to fund, and he couldn't do it without some kind of help from someone like myself. My client is my lender who has funds that's really concerned about losing those funds, but also knows leaving them in the bank is not the answer anymore. So I've got two sets of clients who I'm working with. And so relationship 101, go build that out. And then ultimately ultimately help to build my portfolio up because I've built the right fund that can support this. And so it's, in the community some of the communities that we belong to, people talk about their Mount Everest, and they talk about things that are, I don't know, I guess I'm just not there yet mentally to say, I'm here and I'm going to save the world. I'm here and I'm going to feed the starving. I'm here and I'm going to make sure the homeless aren't homeless. I just got to be honest with you. I haven't figured out how to be a big enough thinker yet to go there. I'm in the process. My mindset has changed a lot, but I don't have a overwhelming. Simple life investing is going to create blank. I'm just not there yet, but I do know that I'm doing it ethically, and I'm going to do it as safely as I can. I'm a risk manager at heart, and with the insurance background, and so at this point, that's what I'm doing. Build it right, build the team, and learn how to expand that.
I have 2 questions here. I'm not sure which
Can
to
I
start
throw
with.
something out at you?
Yeah.
Because I think that if I can add value to someone, it's not, hey, Brian's building a business or whatever. I think the value that I would like to share with the world. You're looking at a 57-year-old, okay? Didn't start investing in real estate until 5 years ago. Why is that? Why did he wait until he's 52 years old to start? And the answer is a big one, and I think everybody has this. It's fear. We are all in our lives for whatever reason. My business made good money. I had great income, but I was dealing with other people's problems. And instead of taking action toward my goals, I was letting the fear take over. And so I always like to bring that out. That's really important. The one thing I've been doing for 5, we'll call it 6 years, because it took me a year to really decide I was doing it and then make it happen, the action taking. For 6 years, I've been on a quest to not be in fear, not going to be in fear of losing the income that I had, not be in fear of COVID for a few years, scaring everybody, not being in fear of the doomsday scenarios. Just start taking steps, one step at a time, and taking action. And I think that's what I'd say would be the one thing I'd love to share with everybody I talk to. It's take action in spite of the fear that you definitely have. I know I have it right now.
Yeah.
Fear of being on a camera.
We're helping out with that.
That's right.
I hope that I answered this 2 episodes ago, because we are shooting this before 2 episodes ago.
I love it.
This is episode 102. And on episode 100, we flipped the script and I got interviewed by Kevin Schuwheeler. And one of the things that he hopefully asked me, and if he didn't, I will answer it here, was what are 3 of the big overarching themes that the 100 guests have come on and said? And one aspect of what you just said there is the top 3, if not number 1, is take action. So many people have come on and said, just go take action. And it's probably, you could argue mindset is the most important, but going out and taking action is a 1A, 1B, if it's not number 1. And that fear, going out and taking action helps you to overcome that fear.
Taking action,
realize,
go ahead. Is the one thing. It's the one thing that moves the ball forward.
Yeah.
Mindset speeds it up, right? But and again, by the way, I need help with my mindset. I'm still stuck in the small, moves mindset. But the action taking pushes you through that, pushes you. Not as fast as you would be if you had the great mindset. But yeah, Action taking is
When
huge.
and you mentioned not having this big Mount Everest, which is going to be my second, which is going to be another question here. But you need to take action in order to be able to reveal that Mount Everest. Maybe the Mount Everest is just covered behind fog right now because you haven't taken enough steps to be able to go get past that fog now, which is what you're doing. And so my next question, is what's the peak right now that you're climbing towards? I know it's not your Mount Everest, and for some of us, we may never have a Mount Everest. We may never have that. I'm going to help 10 million people get clean, sustainable water to their house.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
exactly right. I think that I'm very envious of people who have that. Right?
Yeah.
Man, I should be there. I should have that shining, shining light on the hill type thing. But I don't want to fake it either.
Right.
So being
Yeah.
honest with yourself and going, okay, so yeah, I mean, I love what you just said. What's the next peak, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know that there's certain things that if I get done, it frees me up to think bigger, right? If I could build my portfolio to 250 doors, then I would have the luxury and the right to go, okay, what's next? And I feel like just helping myself to visualize that. Like I said, I'm doubling my doors here in the next few doors. Okay, wait, that's possible. I just did that. I'm partnering with people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the only owner of this, right? But that's okay. Mindset wise, I just doubled my doors. And if I can do that with my partners, then my partners and I can do this again and again. And I think that for me is like the Everest. It's like if I can just free myself to stop going, oh, that's too, I'm just going to go buy a single family house, or I'm going to just do a couple more loans, or I'm going to, whatever that smaller version is. If I can just stop that and go, wait, I just did this and now I can do that again. And I think, so that's the thing with action taking. You buy your first property. I remember my first property I bought. Holy crap. That was so scary. And like the moment I closed, I was like, I'm doing this again.
Yeah.
And so I think that, for me, my hilltop, my mountaintop isn't an Everest yet, but it's definitely, if I can accomplish this month, the next month I can accomplish that again. And quite frankly, I just put an LOI offer in on a 20-unit apartment building. Haven't even closed the one that I'm doing, but I'm already in that mindset of, wait, I can put an LOI on that.
Oh, I love it.
So I think that, yeah, I mean, I don't have an Everest, but I have a molehill.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, maybe that huge, the Everest in its purest form that Pace intended never gets revealed. And that's something that I personally have, been going with, like, am I even on the right path sometimes? Am I going towards Mount Everest, or am I walking towards Kilimanjaro right now? I hope those are really far apart, because I don't know. I'm not a geography person.
Yeah.
To illustrate the point.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing, because I think that a lot of people find themselves in that similar situation, Ryan, is that how can I focus on Mount Everest right now when I haven't even climbed my own financial freedom or whatever mountain that getting out of my W-2 mountain? How am I supposed to go help 10 million people?
So much.
When I'm stuck in my W-2, and that's where I feel right now. So,
and you don't want to poo-poo anybody's Mount Everest, because you realize that's a great thing. I mean, that's going to push me forward even faster than I'm pushing myself forward now, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't have it, you're fighting yourself to fake it. That's
right.
that's not you. That's not going to be where you're going to end up. And to your point, Nathaniel, sorry. Let's assume that you don't know exactly where you want to go yet. Okay. Are you doing something new today? Are you, are you trying something new? And ultimately, like I said, I'm going to kind of go back a little bit negative, but when I first joined Sub 2, I'm not kidding. I have anxiety. I'm the guy who always has to be thinking about the next thing because I'm scared about what I'm not doing, right? But I've
Yeah.
never been depressed until I joined Sub 2. And I'm not saying it in a negative way, in a positive way. I remember a moment where I was watching Zooms and trying to participate, like, there, and trying to push myself to do things that I was uncomfortable with. And I'm okay with being uncomfortable, but I don't feel like I was moving the ball forward, right? And I remember one day I woke up normal time at work, and around 10 o'clock in the morning, I walked away from the computer, laid down, and took a nap. What the heck was that about? 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm taking a nap?
Yeah.
And I realized as I did that, maybe this is the depression that I never understood. And maybe I need to take a step. And I literally pushed myself through. The next day, I hopped on a Zoom that was a wholesaling Zoom. And I got on there, 200 people, and I raised my hand right away because I'm going to push myself past this. I can't feel like this for long. And I'm trying to think of the name of the gentleman who brought me up and said, "Okay, do you have a list?" I said, "Nope." He says, have you been wholesaling for a while? I'm like, "Nope." Have you had any success in wholesale? Nope. Do you want to wholesale? I'm like, "Nope." And he just stopped the whole thing, 250 people on this thing, and laid into me for 10, 15 minutes. And ultimately what came out of that is, stop trying to push yourself in a direction that you're not authentic to. And I went back to the Avatar series and found my way, and a way I say a way I've went, like I'm like up at the top of the mountain. I started moving in the right direction, and I felt good about it since. So
I hope you find a Mount Everest.
me too.
I hope I do as well.
Me too.
I'm climbing a mountain right now, and we'll see what peak reveals itself above the clouds, because there's clouds at the moment.
Can you imagine for a second how many people you know inside the business of real estate, outside the business, and podcast or whatever, who aren't striving to even figure out what their Everest might be?
Yeah.
How many people do we know that are not even they're showing up for someone else's work every day?
Yeah.
That's sad for me,
Yeah.
because I realized I was doing that for years, and you got to have a dream, and that's what makes it worth it.
I think that the Mount Everest thing can be a little daunting for people, and where you were going, I thought you were going one direction with your Sub 2 story just a minute ago, and the comparison element of that. You come into Sub 2 and you see these people that are successful, and you go, "Oh, hey, wait, that I've been here for 3 weeks. That person just got here yesterday and they got a deal. Well, I must not be good enough." All right. All these things. So the comparison aspect of these, we see the Pace Morby who has these huge goals to really impact the world. And we feel that if we don't have a goal like that, then we're less than. But you just haven't walked far enough yet to realize that goal. You've got to continue taking action, like you were mentioning. I want to make sure we're cognizant of time here, Brian. I want to get these Networking with Nathaniel staple questions in.
I love it. You're gonna catch me off guard here. I'm sure.
I think I have the answer to this one already, but what's your biggest life lesson and how did you learn it? Well, yeah, how did you learn it aspect of it?
Again, I think that one thing I did is I saw what I wasn't accomplishing, and I saw the reason why is because of the fear. And so fear is an enemy of mine, and I am fighting. The last 6 years, I'm fighting that. I'm not letting it win.
Yeah. Was it this laying down and taking a nap at 10 a.m. that was the kind of catalyst for this, or was there another moment, or maybe it wasn't a moment that you can look back and go,
it was a definite moment. So the business I had owned and run was controlled by others. I wasn't the owner of that business, even though I paid all the bills, I paid the taxes, I paid the employees, I paid, I invested in it. I did all the things that you do when you own things, but I wasn't making the decisions in that insurance position. And so that was one of them. The other one was COVID, honestly, hitting and wait, no, you're not, I'm not going to be living under the thumb. The next one was, and I don't like to share this too much, but my wife's breast cancer, and she's cancer-free now. But the toll on her, mentally and physically, on that over the time, that was a fear that I'm not living my fullest life, and my wife is sick. So those are part of it. So it goes back farther than the moment where I was having that depression feeling. That was just part of this.
Yeah.
The ups and downs of fighting this, right? I'm already in fear. I'm going to fight that. And then I have this moment where I'm like feeling depressed about where I'm at, where I'm going, what I'm doing, but I'm still pushing forward. So that was just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting thing you've done lately, Brian? I got an answer for you if you had.
Answer, give me an answer. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, this 24 unit sounds pretty exciting.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's amazing for multiple reasons, right? It's not just one thing. I keep thinking back about this, like, holy crud, what's just changed? What's just shifted in me? One is I've taken partners on who are bringing things that I couldn't have brought by myself. And my biggest fear was, well, a partner's going to be someone I have to do their work for them now, right? But I brought in a partner who's bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I'm doing something I would have never been able to do by myself. And I say that maybe I would be, but in a couple of years, maybe, right? So I'm doing something I couldn't have done. And ultimately, my mindset has completely shifted. Wait, I could hit 250 doors in the next couple of years because I'm not going one door at a time. I'm building a portfolio in the way that it strikes my fancy, right? So it's that the 24 unit project, as much as it's created mayhem in my life, and I tease my partner about that all the time. Gosh, you're changing everything. He's changing everything. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting. And a lot of when I wrote this question, I was thinking skydiving, these exciting things, but growth is really exciting. And so that's, that's where I went with that. If you could have dinner with anybody throughout history, living or dead, who would it be and what would you want to talk about?
You know what? That's the answer to that. I could joke and say it's with you, Nathaniel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that. I would say all the people who I've met who I didn't explore them enough. My mom died when I was 16. And if I could sit in a room and listen to the things that she did tell me over again and have them really grab hold. My father passed away a few years ago, and I was always busy, too busy. I'm too busy, Dad. Whatever, Dad, I'm busy. If I could just go back and not be so busy. Just honoring the relationships I have in a much more appreciative way. I think that would probably be the answer, because there's lots of people who you can say, well, I could, I would love to be in the room for the sake of just, look at me. I was in the room with that person, but I can't think of anybody off the top of my head with that, other than my mom, my dad, my grandparents, the people who I've loved.
Before I ask my last question here, Brian, we've got 3 minutes left. What's the best way? What's the best way? I see you have your phone number there for people to reach out to you if they have deals that they want to get lending on, if they have money that they want to get involved in deals that you're doing.
I love it. This is Simple Life Investing is a website. So Simple Life Investing is the best place to look at what I'm trying to accomplish, and put projects, put deals together and connect with me on a professional level, right? I want to do a deal. Okay, there's the place.
Yeah.
If it's more about it, I just want to get to know you and build a relationship, which is much more important to me long term, because ultimately I don't want to do deals. I want to build relationships. And so my phone number's on there because I believe, that's a good way to go. I on my website has my my Calendarly link, and I'd love to just schedule a Zoom and build a relationship with you for half an hour at a time until we get to the point where we can do more, better, bigger, greater things. Obviously, I'm on social medias, but I'm not a social media guru.
Yeah. That's all right.
I'm working on
We
it,
all
though.
have our avenues.
I'm working on it.
Last question, Brian. I've asked, I think every guest, maybe 97% of the guests in 102 episodes, is when your time on this earth is done, what do you want to be remembered for by the people you leave behind?
If my kids could say anything, it would be, my dad showed up.
Hmm.
I don't know why that would be different for anybody else I have a relationship with. I show up consistently. I'm not going to be perfect at that. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be superhuman, but if you ask me for help, I'm going to show up. I think that's, again, you always go back to your kids because that's really ultimately what we do all this for, right? But yeah, at my funeral, if one of my kids stood up and said my dad showed up, he was always there. If I needed him, he was always there. I think that would be it. I'm not trying to be super duper at anything else.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on, Brian. Thank you for being here. Thank you for
having me.
sharing
Thank
with
you for
me
being
and with
a friend.
everybody else.
Thank you for being a friend. I appreciate you. You're doing great work, and I'm gonna pray for you as we move forward together. We're gonna do things together. I love this.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe it. I appreciate it. I'm going to boot you off here, Brian. If you could hang out for just a minute to make sure that the recording's all uploaded. I'll see you in a second.
Okay.
Brian, dropping knowledge here. 2 huge takeaways. First, as I mentioned, take action. If you learn something, the time that you can separate between you learning something and you putting it into practice, the shorter you can make that time frame, the farther you are going to go. So take action. If you picks up something from something Brian said on this episode, the quicker you can go out and implement it, the better you're off you're going to be. And I love the last piece. He's a person that just shows up for people, shows up for the people he loves, the people he hasn't built a relationship with, for himself. Just show up. Just go do the thing you say you're going to do. I appreciate you for coming on here, Brian. I appreciate every guest that's been on here. I appreciate you for listening and tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, put a comment in the description here, wherever the comments and stuff go section. One thing that you took away and one thing that you're going to implement going forward. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe so you can be a part of every episode going forward if you so choose. Until next week, adios.